Welcome back to Let's Play The Evil Within with me, Jerupitus. And I hope that you're having a great day because I am not exactly. I got here to Chapter 11, The Reunion, and I was just so happening to check out my archive, and I realized that I was missing map fragment number 15. I just straight up missed it. Now, I will be issuing a video to correct that. So it will look like we've collected them all on the way here, but what that meant was that I had to replay chapters 9 and 10, my two favorite chapters, all over again. But you know what? I got it done. When you make a mistake, you just gotta own it and fix it. And so that's what we did, and here we are. Let's go.
Looks like the asylum's the only building left untouched. How can that be?
Honestly, at this point, I think that's kind of a silly question, because obviously it's the focal point of all of this, but, you know, apparently he still doesn't quite get it. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do in this level is head over by this carousel. There's going to be a goddess statue on the backs of one of these horses, so we'll just have to wait for it to come around, but oh man. Being so excited to be done with Chapter 9 and 10, and then realizing that you have to play both of them over again back to back was emotionally devastating. Oh, I shot that down in a bad spot, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to come back around. There we go. With that out of the way, we can keep going. There are going to be 5 keys and 3 map tiles in this chapter, and 5 keys is a lot. But I believe in myself to not miss anything, despite the fact that I very recently let myself down in a terrible, terrible way. We're going to want to go around this side, and the best part of this chapter, other than that it's a really cool change where it's just kind of like the middle of the day and we're outside, really big palette swap there, are all of these awesome, like sort of parody horror movie posters. And there's going to be a lot of them. We'll check them all out. That one, I believe, is a reference to The Ring, and this one has my favorites endorsement on it of all time. The fog started rolling in and I was like, 5 stars for White Fog. An absolutely glowing review. And I do love the subtlety, I say as a bus comes crashing next to us, of this open sign and this pathway forward. I think it's just great. Nudges are just the best kind of game design. And this poster here is kind of what I was talking about when I was saying that there are lots of different takes on the sort of safe or keeper motif. And this one's kind of an avant-garde one, splattered with blood, and it's got the little pins all around it. Oh, it's just so good. Now we're gonna kind of want to immediately make a U-turn. Right this way, and come all the way back here. And for our trouble, we're going to get this map fragment. That's number 21. And now I am, like, double counting them, but excitingly, we finally get a shiny new gun, the Magnum. And this thing is awesome. It's going to be your boss killer the same way that it is in, you know, your Resident Evil games. And a little bit of green gel as well. And now I did my best to get everything back to pretty much where it was when we left off, before I had to replay those chapters, but not everything is exactly the same. I think the most notable thing we're missing is fully upgraded shock bolts, but it's not really that big of a difference, but there's no way to make it exactly the same due to the RNG. And this place is closing in around us. And this is another one of those tricky loading screens. But I am very happy right now because I get back to playing chapters that I consider to be legitimately fun. And this is one of them. The only complaint or criticism that I could offer is that this chapter very much makes you feel like, what happened to that game that we were playing, you know, in the village? Did that just not hit him? Nope. Here I thought I could get sneaky. Well, we wasted a few sniper rounds, but fortunately we have a ton of them waiting for us in safe haven, so... Now we're gonna want to pop this guy by this fence here. Crit right off the bat, you gotta love that. And I have this part very well memorized. Wow, those boxes are just floating in midair. That's a little weird. But that's another one of those things where it could be on purpose. Just based upon a lot of other things that happen in this game. And now these two are gonna come chasing me. I'm gonna try burning this one, I guess. And that just chose not to work. Okay, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't right on top of me. But it's one of those things where I can't tell if it's more scary or less scary because it's broad daylight. There is something legitimately horrifying about zombies just being around in the middle of the day. It lends a kind of immediacy to things. All right, I just want to make sure I've grabbed everything I want. Now we're going to want to get out the shotgun. There's going to be a few shells right over here. And we can't take them with us, but we're going to need them. And for simply trying the door, we get 3 enemies coming right for us. That one's gonna choose to path over the fence, and that's fine with me, because that'll give me time to take out both of these. And having used only 2 shells, we can immediately replace those. And now we're gonna get into a part that I don't really love. And I'll explain why as it happens. Fortunately, we get all of our rifle ammo replaced. That is nice, because we're gonna want that. So we're gonna take the old-fashioned keyring found by the body in the alleyway, used to secure the materials storage area. And now that guy's gonna immediately pop in here and start shooting a machine gun at us, and we're gonna get 3 spawning right behind me. And that's another one of those gun-wielding zombies that I'm not a fan of. And I've gotta kind of stay in cover over here, or he's gonna shoot me. And I don't think a guy spraying a machine gun at you is scary in the same way that enemies like these with their hammers and stuff are scary. it's really just a, kind of silly problem to have. So how we're going to deal with this is by a grenade, and we're going to kind of bounce it around the corner. And he's going to have a friend all the way distant, but as soon as we kill him, we're going to get 3 more behind us. So we're going to go back to our little hiding spot. And now, from all the way back here, Mr. Machine Gun over here can't see us. But it's worth pointing out that these machine gun guys have a stronger faceplate than the other ones. These are the silver faceplates, and those you cannot headshot through. And that's the end of this little fun house. And now we can use that key to get out of the door we tried earlier. But before I go, I do want to grab this grenade and just replace that one I used. And I believe that's everything in here, although we do have these floating boxes to destroy. Can I even hit that one? I'm going to shoot it down. Oh, good, another spawn. Take him out. And I swear he was standing right in those flames. But once again, the matches just choose to work or not. And you can sometimes feel like you kind of got it wrong, like sure, there's a little bit of technique to it. But honestly, they'll be standing right in it and sometimes just not catch. It's kind of the worst. All right, I think it's time to move on. And the first thing we're going to want to do here is head up, and we're just going to get a couple of bullets right at the top here. But we did kind of waste some bullets, so I don't really mind. All right, now up ahead we are going to meet a new enemy. And it's one that I like because it reminds me a little bit of almost an old friend. Now in here we're going to want to be really careful, because there's a goddess statue over here, but the thing about this goddess statue is you need to kind of push it towards something where you can stand up and shoot it. And if you push it into some of the debris, it will just float away and you can't get it. So this one is real tricky, but I think right here will be okay. Perfect. Oh, you know what? Let me grab these bullets. I almost missed them. I'm going to want those because we're going to kind of need to use our handgun as a tool for this next section.
Oh, shit.
And that is Shigyo. And the reason I say Shigyo is like an old friend is because it reminds me a lot of Del Lago from Resident Evil 4, but unfortunately we don't get to have a dramatic confrontation with it. Now the technique is you shoot down the body, and then you immediately take a flying leap into the water and swim for it. And Shigyo will target whatever hit the water first. And this one, we want to immediately swim for it. If you don't, it will knock you off the center thing and into the water. You won't die or anything, but that's just the way to do that part. And now here's another awesome movie poster, Chainsaw 3D. That is an obvious reference to the Saw films, but also maybe a little bit of a self-reference to this game. And now we can hit this body with a bottle to drop it to not waste a handgun bullet. He spawned right on top of that. I don't know if I like that. I feel like this is going to be close. All right, we made it.
Sure as hell don't want to go back in the water anytime soon.
Certainly not. The water is not our friend. But if you're thinking, saying something like, I sure don't want to go back into the water in a game like this means you absolutely will end up back in the water, you would be correct. Now we're going to meet yet another new enemy here. And fortunately for us, we have what amounts to pretty much an absolute hard counter to it. And I'm going to show that off in just a sec here. Now there's a lot of stuff to grab here, but I kind of want to get up towards the front. Further than this. Here we go. And that right there is a Rubik clone. And the arena's over.
Some kind of fake?
If you kill him, it kills everything in here. So let's talk about those guys for just a sec, because we didn't even really get to see what he does. He does this sort of ear-piercing scream, and then these grabby hands come out of the ground, and if those things get you, you die. So Rubik clones are a big, big problem. They need to kind of immediately be your focus, the same way in a game like Doom, certain demons you're going to want to prioritize in combat. You really want to get the Rubik clones dead, lest you get grabbed and killed. But the flaming harpoon bolts are just a straight-up hard counter to him. It just kills him in one shot, kills him dead, and then you don't have to worry about them. Interestingly, in the higher difficulties, those Rubik clones start showing up in Chapter 3 when you're in the village, when you first open the spiky gate and Dr. Jimenez lures all the creatures away, all the haunted. Right then, you start meeting Rubik clones. So I think they're kind of interesting in that way, where there's sort of this difficulty meter that the developers can turn, deciding to have them spawn in earlier areas to make the game more difficult. Because believe me, when you have to deal with one of those alongside everything else, it's really distracting. It really draws your attention, and then it allows the lesser enemies to kind of pile on you. But fortunately for me, I have my hard counter for that, and I really don't have to deal with it at all. So let's keep going. You know what? I guess I may as well use a healing item. And let's continue this way.
You gotta be kidding. This place is filthy.
It is filthier, but it's always kind of been pretty filthy.
Is this his doing?
But I do like the way that even Safe Haven is crumbling the same way that the city is around us.
Detective,
Are you all right?
you do realize there would be no one to replace me.
And I mean, who could replace her? Come on. Inspector Brown, missing. Crimson City Police Inspector Arnold Brown, claimed to be holding important evidence in an unsolved case before he disappeared. And body found in sewer, mutilated body found in sewer. The body of a man with his brain exposed and surgical scars found in Crimson City sewer. Dead for several months, reminiscent of Elk River serial killer. I wonder who's responsible for all that. Oh, it's always Ruvik. Now, we do have some locker keys, so why don't we go ahead and use those? All the sniper rifle ammunition I could ever want. And 15,000 green gel, I love it. Yep, let's get loaded up while we're here. Anything we can take with us is good. All right, let's hit the chair, and let's get that shock bolt thing fixed so we're back to basically exactly where we were before my tragic error. But I think since I've got all that sniper rifle ammunition sitting around, I may want to increase the amount I can carry. So let's see here. Now we're basically in exactly the same shape we were before. So this is 2 more bullets. Sure, why not? Yeah, I think that's enough for now because I really want to upgrade my Magnum as much as possible because this is going to be my boss killer. So I really want it to have as much damage as I can possibly put on it. Yep, and let's just get it to 140%. And then we can do some cheekies, I suppose. And that will also kind of catch it up to where the rest of our guns are at. So I think that makes a lot of sense to do. And with all that out of the way, I think it's time to hit the road here, so to speak, and get back to the crumbling city. I'm already hearing them. Oh boy, this part. Okay. So as you can see up here, we've got a whole bunch of them in a cage. We've got a door right here, and there's one already patrolling there, and they've all got guns and stuff. So the first thing we can do... He's going to take the cart that way. We can run around the side here, and weirdly, the level is not going to aggro on me just yet. There's going to be a gentleman waiting right here for me. We'll take him out. And him. And now we're going to have something very similar to a Resident Evil 4 section once again, where the door is going to pop open and I'm going to have a very limited amount of time to hit some shots. So we're going to start with the pistol and see where that gets me. Not very far. Oh, and he's got a shotgun. Oh, I was hoping that his mantling would mess up his timing. Okay. That went very sideways very quickly. You know what? If you guys are going to use crossbows, so am I. That just jibbed him. I think this one I can pistol. That went into the abyss. Okay. That works for me. And you know, there's a grenade sitting here, so why don't we grenade it? Oh, God. That was close. All right, now I think we can grenade it. I feel like I'm getting pretty lucky here. They're gonna take the elevator down any time now, guys. I got ping-ponged a little bit, but no big deal. Man, you do not get much time at all. I'm gonna wait for my health to recover so that I don't just arbitrarily die on the very last guy. And then what we're gonna do... Is that gonna not work? That is a shame. Come on. Man. Oh, and he's got dynamite? That is not good. Okay. I'm gonna wait for that to detonate. There we go. All right, maybe here's a safer spot. That works. And I'm never getting that explosive bolt back. I really wanted it just on the ground right before, but it decided to stay on the door, and now it is gone forever. Fortunately, that's not going to be a very big deal. I will say this. After the day that I've had, I'm having a Irish coffee with some gaming today, so I may be a little bit dumber / sillier than usual. You'll just have to bear with me on that. All right, so we've got another challenging section, but I hope that you can see what I mean about things like that not really being scary. Like, it's not horror. There's no tension. It's just zombies with guns. Which is very, very strange. I think it's a really weird choice. And now we can get kind of the layout of this arena, but this is going to be another section where I'm getting sniped upon. Not this one, but the one over here is the one I want to creep through. Oh, a stupid grenade? Come on. I'm trying to use my resources, but... I know I already talked about it, but it's just very hard to use those grenades. You have to pull yourself out of combat just to use something that kind of sucks anyway. And they just keep throwing them at you. All right, now, I do want to break this because I'm going to want to be able to have escape vectors. Because things are about to go a little wonky in here. We'll turn this hand crank generator that exists for some reason. And we got more gun guys. I was hoping to get some more shots on them before this happened, but... All right. Yeah, I really want to take those guys out immediately. Get them both. Yes. Okay. Off to a much smoother start now. Now, I swear there's another gun guy. Am I crazy? All right, I guess I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. He almost got the drop on me, but he was a little slow on the draw. And now, in our Resident Evil 4 reference extravaganza, we're going to have another very similar section. We're about to go on a facsimile of the minecart ride. This basically requires you to not miss. As I guess I would say most of the challenges in this game do. And they're going to give you an absolute crazy ammo dump right here. And what we're going to want to do is shoot the guys before they chuck stuff at us. That took more bullets than I would have liked, but fortunately we've got plenty here. I think a really interesting thing about this part is on harder difficulties, you do not get the ammo dump there. So if you don't have enough ammo here, you are just screwed. So far, so good. And you gotta wait for them to get right to the edge or they won't fall off. Oh, this is getting bad. Oh, I was completely panicking there. But I think we're good. Wow, okay. The minecart ride is over. Now, we can immediately see right there, there's going to be another map fragment, so let's go get that. You got to be careful not to jump down too early here. Oh, I really wanted that. I missed the jump. Oh, well. There was some magnum ammunition up there, I believe, but the main thing I'm interested in is this. Map fragment number 22. And what do I get if I go all the way around? Absolutely nothing. Ah, right, here we go. And now that we're across the pipe bridge, we want to check out this vending machine. Brain energy. And that's going to give us a goddess statue. So we get a key, some green gel. Oh, that was... Sight one. Well, I did say one of those would blow up in my face eventually. There we go. And my locker key. I'm a little bit sad about that magnum ammunition, but it's really not going to be a big deal. We have so many bullets. We do want to be thorough in here. There is actually kind of a lot of stuff to find. And it's very well hidden among all of this very ordinary looking stuff. Yeah, those are really tight, man. I don't remember them being that way. That's kind of crazy. And then there is one thing that I definitely want to find in here.
Kidman?
But we don't want to continue on just yet to find Kidman. We're gonna go ahead and hit the safe room before we continue on. Now let's go ahead and check out this document. Journal of Sebastian Castellanos, July 11th, 2012. Almost 6 months since the accident. Myra and I drift further apart with every passing week. I have to stay strong, but it's so easy to drown my thoughts in whiskey. I figure as long as it doesn't affect my work, what I do in my own time is private. I finally got Myra to open up to me about the accident. Now I'm more worried than ever. I don't know what's worse. The fact that Myra is becoming paranoid and maybe losing her mind, or the fact that what she is proposing, that the fire wasn't an accident, could be real. I owe it to her to trust her instincts, but if they're correct, God help whoever did this. And that's right, Myra is suspecting that the fire was done to them on purpose. And is going a little bit crazy about it, which is understandable.
What the? Back here again. I must be losing it.
It's been a while since your last visit.
It actually hasn't been that long at all. But we do have some locker keys, so let's go ahead and use them. That is always the fun part. By locker keys, of course, I mean just the one. We gotta start spending some freeze bolts, because I've got a fairly incredible amount in here. Anything else I can take with me? There are some healing syringes. I do have this full heal in the bank, though. Yeah, let's go ahead and increase our life bar. And I think now is as good a time as any to go ahead and save the game, and we're going to take a little bit of a break. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.